Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to talk all things box sets. Box sets. You normally see them all in the back of my videos in these little boxes, of course, but I've got them all out here just to go through and just talk through some of my thoughts in relation to a box set. It's a very convenient piece in a collection because you can get multiple discs in a lot slimmer of a package. For someone like me, of course, with space saving stuff, that is the massive concept. And I used to be somebody that was very anti-box sets. For instance, I don't actually have it, but the Indiana Jones set was one of the ones that comes to mind, in terms of when they re-released those movies, of course, in 4K, before actually doing them all individually. So here I have my Indiana Jones, that I have them individually, but they did all the older ones here in a box set, which is on the screen there. And then the new movie came out, of course, Dial of Destiny, but that was never part of the box set. I don't think they ever released a new box set. I think it's just they still do the 4 one, the Complete Adventures. And the Dial of Destiny isn't included in that. So that was my problem with box sets initially, because you'd buy a box set, and if a studio decided one day we want to do a new version, reboot something, Star Wars is a prime example of that, of course. This box set stood in many people's collections for years and years and years. And, obviously then they added another trilogy onto it. So the complete saga is no more. It's not really complete. So there is some ways that I think box sets actually do work. And I'll talk through that in a little bit, of course. So I've got various box sets, and I've changed my stance on this. As I say before, I used to be very anti box sets. And one of the things recently I picked up is the Fast and Furious one, which you guys normally see there. The Fast and Furious 8 movie collection. Now, having a box set, of course, with then 2 films extra, it's not ideal. I've got 8 films there. I've got 9 and 10 there, and I'll probably get 11 there. But they don't make it easy to get a complete saga. You can get the complete saga because it's very, very expensive. This one was very, very cheap for me. It was about 30 quid when I picked it up. And, shelf etiquette, I suppose. It doesn't look ideal on the shelf if you have them all lined up like that. It doesn't look ideal as it would if you just had like one, which obviously had the complete saga, which when we get Fast 11, I'm sure we will get a complete box set. But they don't make it easy to get some of the individual movies maybe in the box set. Indiana Jones are relatively easy to get all of those films. So, I decided to get them individually because the box set doesn't make sense. Whereas in Fast and Furious's case, you can't get various films in this box set individually. Fast 5, very difficult to get. Fast and Furious 4 as well, very difficult to get individually. And also the first movie, very difficult to get. You can get it in Steelbook and stuff like that, but it's inflated. So it's very difficult to get. So sometimes you are, well, in this case, I think I'm forced to get this box set or get one bigger box set, but cost-wise, it made sense to get this. So that's kind of why I changed my stance on it. But as I say, shelf etiquette, it's not very great, is it? There's other situations, of course, where you can get a box set and new films get added into the cinema. As I said, with Star Wars, you've got Fast and Furious as well. But things like Jurassic World, of course, this was my ultimate collection box set of all 6 films, which went up as far as Jurassic World Dominion there, which was the latest movie, of course. But what's happening this summer? We're getting Jurassic World Rebirth, a new rendition and a new start of a new trilogy, potentially, of the Jurassic movies. So the question is, would I get rid of my Jurassic World box set and just add that in? Probably not. It's very convenient for me to have all the 4Ks in this slim package. There's 6 movies in there. So for me on my shelf, when you're dealing with shelf space, I think box sets are the way to go. And as I say, I've changed my stance on it. Realistically, you can get some really good deals on box sets. This one, for instance, was £30. I did buy this one for brand new, full price, but as soon as Rebirth comes out on Blu-ray and they release the 7-film collection, this 6-movie collection will be discounted very heavily. So you can get some very good deals, of course. That is that situation, obviously. Movies get added and, having a box set and then an armory next to it isn't ideal for the shelf. It's not. If you're like me, I like it to look pretty and all that. And that's kind of why I've done things like done with Back to the Future and how I normally done with Jurassic. It's very much just sits on the shelf and it's more of a central piece rather than, just hiding it like that. I like to demonstrate and showcase it out. Also, I've got the space at the moment to do that, but eventually I can do that and then fit movies in the box, of course. So shelf etiquette comes into it when it comes to box sets, because you want things to line up. Just like, you know, the Sonic movies recently, you want things to all just line up and be one. Similar to Indiana Jones, of course. This is annoying, stuff like this. But shelf etiquette comes into being a collector, doesn't it? Let me know down below if you disagree. But there is some situations where box sets actually work. Potentially, you know, you can get older ones here, like I picked up a Star Trek box set recently, and this is probably one of the best ways to get a condensed version of all of the movies in one nice box as well. Really good sturdy box, really good condition. And you kind of, I know for instance, this 6-movie pack, they're not going to make a 7th movie because this is an older franchise, of course. I mean, they could, but the chances are they're very much not. Similar to the Mummy trilogy as well. I mean, this is a box set that really is just a cardboard thing around 3 Amarais. But you can be safe bets that they're not going to make another Mummy film with Brendan Fraser in it. And this is the defined trilogy of the set. Lord of the Rings, another example. They're probably not going to make another Lord of the Rings, Hobbit. Those trilogies are defined. You can buy that with confidence that, yeah, they're really not going to make another one, similar to Back to the Future. So there is some situations where box sets, I think, actually really do work. But there is a massive debate, as I say, in terms of getting a box set, having a box set for years, a studio comes in, buys the studio out, and then makes another trilogy on top of it. And you're in a situation where my complete saga is no longer complete. Now, Star Wars is a bit different because it's very controversial, isn't it? Let's just say people still think this is the complete saga, and they retcon basically the sequel trilogy. But you know, it's a fact. You know, if the non-complete saga, this is wrong now. It's out of date, so to speak. So box sets, I think, have a real place in people's collections because it allows you access mainly to films that you don't, that you might not be able to get individually. Fast and Furious, for me, being that prime example, as I say, of one franchise that is very difficult to get the movies individually, but very cheap to get a box set, potentially now, like the 8-movie one, or even maybe the 10-movie one, obviously, when the 11-movie one comes out. I'm not sure if they did a 9-movie one when number 9 came out, but yeah, it's just one of those. They always tend to, new movie comes out, Fast 10 will come out, and then alongside Fast 10, they'll do a box set which incorporates that, of course. That tends to be the trend. Sonic did it recently. Paddington has done it recently. All these different franchises. And, you know, even if we do get a Paddington 4, a Sonic 4, that box set of Paddington 1 to 3, Sonic 1 to 3 still stands. And then when we get a number 4, they'll make another box set. And that older box set gets out of date. And that's where my problem lay originally with box sets, because it's the story so far and it's a money grab a lot of the times. But sometimes we're forced, depending on the franchise, depending on what movies they are, we are forced. And also, some box sets really do have nice artwork and you want to stick with it. This artwork is 100% better than the Skywalker Saga box set with the Death Star on it. You know what I mean? Like, there's some artworks that you just prefer and you just want to keep in your collection and have. This artwork's great. I think this artwork's a bit lazy and a bit cheap. The Mummy artwork is actually really good. I like that. And I also like the Star Trek artwork. It's quite good. Artwork is another thing comes into it, obviously, in terms of what people want. But for me, Fast and Furious mainly is what sparked this entire video, and access is the main thing, and stuff like that. So when it comes to it, when Jurassic World Rebirth comes out, will I get a new box set there? No, I'm just going to keep this box set. I'm going to keep this. It's a very condensed version in my collection. It's got all of the films that I want. I collect mainly to have access to films, not for anything else. A similar thing that I did recently with John Wick. I've got the box set of John Wick in a very slim package. I've got access to all 4 of the films, and that's all I need. When number 5 comes out, I'll just buy number 5, or I'll just upgrade this box set if there's a good deal on, because this was a really good deal when I bought it. So it's all about, you know, thing. I've kind of just given up etiquette on the shelf because it's more about access to the films, and you can make the etiquette yourself, you know, make it better yourself by doing things like I've done, by displaying the front of the box set. It completely makes it, well, it just changes the whole look, I think, of the shelving and stuff. And I guess for me it's different because I've got a bit of a backdrop for YouTube videos, you know. So yeah, you can see it's kind of filled in now and it looks a bit better and all of that. So let me know, guys, your thoughts on box sets. Do you rather get standard arrays? Are you somebody that prefers getting a box set? What's your thoughts on box sets? Let me know in the comments down below. As I say, box sets dominate the world now, and I'm really interested to see your thoughts on, do you collect box sets, and do you have the similar type of thoughts that I do? Of course, thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you see here, don't forget to subscribe, comment your thoughts down below on this one, and I really want to engage you down there and have a chat about this. But as I say, thanks for watching, stay tuned for more, and of course, see you in the next one. Goodbye.